Hey everybody, this is your buddy Carl with the Daily Bible Reading. It is January the 21st, Tuesday. And I know they fall at different times of the day according to my schedule. Like most normal people, our lives are busy and schedules change, and that's my life as well. But anyway, it's good to find, 15, 20 minutes a day to do the daily Bible reading. It's just kind of spiritual veggies. It's just one level of walking in relationship with the Lord. So I'm going to dive right in. And the reading for today starts in Genesis 42, verse 18. So we'll pick it up there, and we'll go all the way through chapter 43. So 42:18, and it's right here. So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. Now remember, the brothers have come from Canaan because there's been this massive famine. Joseph's dream to Pharaoh revealed 7 years of great plenty, then 7 years of famine. And Joseph got promoted to being head of Egypt. So if you've missed the other readings, that's where we're at. Joseph's brothers don't even know who he is. They don't recognize him. They sold him into slavery, have no idea. He looks so Egyptian by now, with, I'm sure, the way he's dressed and the way he looks. They don't know who he is. So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, I am a God-fearing man. If you do as I say, you will live. If you really are honest men, choose one of your brothers to remain in prison. The rest of you may go home with grain for your starving families, but you must bring your youngest brother back to me, which is Joseph's brother, Benjamin. Amazing. This will prove that you are telling the truth, and you will not die. To this they agreed. Speaking among themselves, they said, clearly we are being punished because of what we did to Joseph long ago. We saw his anguish when he pleaded for his life, but we wouldn't listen. That's why we're in this trouble. Didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? Reuben asked. You remember Reuben was the one that didn't really plan on that. But you wouldn't listen, and now we have to answer for his blood. Of course they didn't know that Joseph understood them, for he had been speaking to them through an interpreter. Now he turned away from them and began to weep. Imagine that feeling. When he regained his composure, he spoke to them again. Then he chose Simeon from among them and had him tied up right before their eyes. Joseph then ordered his servants to fill the men's sacks with grain, but he also gave secret instructions to return each brother's payment at the top of his sack. He also gave them supplies for their journey home. So the brothers loaded their donkeys with grain and headed for home. Man, is he setting them up. This is amazing. But when they stopped for the night and one of them opened his sack to get grain for his donkey, he found his money in the top of his sack. Look, he exclaimed to his brothers, my money has been returned. It's here in my sack. Then their hearts sank. Trembling, they said to each other, what has God done to us? Amazing. When the brothers came to their father, Jacob, in the land of Canaan, they told him everything that had happened to them. The man who is governor of the land spoke very harshly to us, they told him. He accused us of being spies, scouting the land, but we said, we are honest men, not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of one father. One brother is no longer with us, and the youngest is at home with our father in the land of Canaan. Then the man who is governor of the land told us, this is how I will find out if you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me and take grain for your starving families and go on home. But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. Then I will know you are honest men and not spies. Then I will give you back your brother, and you may trade freely in the land. As they emptied out their sacks, there in each man's sack was the bag of money he had paid for the grain. The brothers and their father were terrified when they saw the bags of money. Jacob explained, you are robbing me of my children. Joseph is gone, Simeon is gone, and now you want to take Benjamin too? Everything is going against me. Poor Jacob. Then Reuben said to his father, you may kill my 2 sons if I don't bring Benjamin back to you. Such strange times, the way, it's just strange in that time of history, how families and clans function. So you just have to keep reading, get the big picture as you read Scripture. Old Testament is a different time in humanity and how God dealt with people. So just got to have grace from the Lord to read the whole picture. He said, I'll be responsible for him, and I promise to bring him back. But Jacob replied, my son will not go down with you. His brother Joseph is dead, and he's all I have left. If anything should happen to him on your journey, you would send this grieving, white-haired man to the grave. It's not that he didn't love his other sons, but really Joseph and Benjamin, he knew were the ones he loved, sons of the promise. Okay, moving on. Chapter 43. Here we go. Yes, we'll finish through 43 here. But the famine continued to ravage the land of Canaan. When the grain they had brought from Egypt was almost gone, Jacob said to his sons, go back and buy us a little more food. But Judah said, the man was serious when he warned us, you won't see my face again unless your brother is with you. If you send Benjamin with us, we will go down and buy more food. But if you don't let Benjamin go, we won't go either. But if you don't let Benjamin go, we won't go either. Remember, the man said, you won't see my face again unless your brother is with you. Why were you so cruel to me? Jacob moaned. Why did you tell him you had another brother? The man kept asking us questions about our family, they replied. He asked, is your father still alive? Do you have another brother? So we answered his questions. How could we know what he would say? Bring your brother down here? Judah said to his father, send the boy with me, and we will be on our way. Otherwise, we will all die of starvation. They really didn't have a choice by now. Not only we, but you and our little ones. I personally guarantee his safety. You may hold me responsible if I don't bring him back to you. Then let me bear the blame forever. If we hadn't wasted all this time, we could have gone and returned twice by now. So their father Jacob finally said to them, if it can't be avoided, then at least do this. Pack your bags with the best products of this land. Take them down to the man as gifts. Balm, honey, gum, aromatic resin, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Also take double the money. That was put back in your sacks, as it was probably someone's mistake. Then take your brother and go back to the man. May God Almighty give you mercy as you go before the man, so that he will release Simeon and let Benjamin return. But if I must lose my children, so be it. Wow, he's come to the resolve that this has got to work this way. Verse 15, so the men packed Jacob's gifts and doubled the money and headed off with Benjamin. They finally arrived in Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with him, he said to the manager of his household, these men will eat with me this noon. Take them inside the palace. Well, there you go. Joseph knows it's his younger brother. He knows he's not going to do anything. It's kind of a bit of a payback, don't you think? I think Joseph is just trying to figure out what he's doing here. And it plays out as the scene unfolds. Then, go slaughter an animal and prepare a big feast. So the man did as Joseph told him and took them into Joseph's palace. The brothers were terrified when they saw that they were being taken into Joseph's house. It's because of the money someone put into our sacks last time we were here, they said. He plans to pretend that we stole it. Then he will seize us, make us slaves, and take our donkeys. The brothers approached the manager of Joseph's household, spoke to him at the entrance to the palace. Sir, they said, we came to Egypt once before to buy food. But as we were returning home, we stopped for the night and opened our sacks. Then we discovered that each man's money, the exact amount paid, was in the top of his sack. Here it is. We've brought it back with us. We also have additional money to buy more food. We have no idea who put our money in our sacks. Relax, don't be afraid, the household manager told them. Your God, the God of your father, must have put this treasure into your sacks. I know I received your payment. So this servant of Joseph knows about God. Joseph is evidently telling his household about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There you go. And so he's releasing the money back to them. Awesome. Okay, sorry I lost my place. Okay. The manager then led the men into Joseph's palace. He gave them water to wash their feet and provided food for their donkeys. They were told they would be eating there, so they prepared their gifts for Joseph's arrival at noon. When Joseph came home, they gave him the gifts they had brought him and then bowed low to the ground before him. Remember Joseph's dream. There's all the brothers bowing low before Joseph. Wow, amazing. After greeting them, he asked, "How is your father, the old man you spoke about? Is he still alive?" He wants to know about his dad. "Yes," they replied, "our father, your servant, is alive and well," and they bowed low again. Then Joseph looked at his brother Benjamin, the son of his own mother. "Is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about?" Joseph asked. "May God be gracious to you, my son." Then Joseph hurried from the room because he was overcome with emotion for his brothers, or his brother, his younger brother. He went into his private room where he broke down and wept. After washing his face, he came back out, keeping himself under control. Then he ordered, "Bring out the food." The waiters served Joseph at his own table, and his brothers were served at a separate table. The Egyptians who ate with Joseph sat at their own table because Egyptians despise Hebrews. Wow. And refused to eat with them. Joseph told each of his brothers where to sit, and to their amazement, he seated them according to age, from oldest to youngest. And Joseph filled their plates with food from his own table, giving Benjamin 5 times as much as he gave the others. So they feasted and drank freely with him. What an amazing story. More of this is going to play out, but that's the reading for the day. So Joseph is treating his brothers well. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay, we're moving on. Today's psalm reading is Psalm 19. So what is Psalm 19? Here we go. Psalm 19. Here we go. Yes. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. Yes, they do. The skies display his craftsmanship. Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make him known. They speak without a sound or word. Their voice is never heard. It's interesting how creation does make sound, and light and vibration and sound are a sound, but it's not sound like we think of it. Moving on, verse 4, "Yet their message is gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world. God has made a home in the heavens for the sun. It bursts forth like a radiant bridegroom after his wedding. It rejoices like a great athlete, eager to run the race. The sun rises at one end of the heavens and follows its course to the other end. Nothing can hide from its heat. The instructions of the Lord are perfect, reviving the soul. The decrees of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The commandments of the Lord are right, bringing joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are clear, giving insight for a living. Reverence for the Lord is pure, lasting forever. The laws of the Lord are true. Each one is fair. They are more desirable than gold, even the finest gold. They are sweeter than honey, even honey dripping from the comb. They are a warning to your servant, a great reward for those who obey them. How can I know all the sins lurking in my heart? Cleanse me from these hidden faults. Keep your servant from deliberate sins. Don't let them control me. Then I will be guilt-free, or free of guilt, as it says here, and innocent of great sin. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Amen. Thank you, David. And that's the psalm for today, Psalm 19. I jumped ahead, didn't I? All right, we'll stay there. Psalm 19 was powerful. Actually, 18 should have been today, but since we're into the reading, what did we miss at Psalm 18? Psalm 18, 16 through 36. Well, why not? How about a little more psalm today? For some reason, I felt like, there you go. Who knows? Maybe the Lord thought somebody needed to hear Psalm 19. But this is Psalm 18, 16 through 36. And it goes like this. He reached down from heaven and rescued me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from powerful enemies, from those who hated me and were too strong for me. They attacked me at a moment when I was in distress. But, there's another one of those psalms, but the Lord supported me. He led me to a place of safety. He rescued me because he delights in me. The Lord rewarded me for doing right. He restored me because of my innocence. For I have kept the ways of the Lord. I have not turned from my God to follow evil. I have followed all his regulations. I have never abandoned his decrees. I am blameless before God. I have kept myself from sin. The Lord rewarded me for doing right. He has seen my innocence. Little side note here. David is probably, you have to realize you have to read according to who's writing, the moment, the time, the event. David is getting a bit full of himself, as if he never makes a mistake. Like but he's in a good place. He knows he's being diligent to walk with the Lord, kind of borderlining on a little bit of pride, but God's got grace for that too. He's just excited to be walking so close to the Lord and paying attention. And but we'll see, like every person, there'll be these good times and bad times. On to verse 25. We're still in Psalm 18 now, verse 25. To the faithful, you show yourself faithful. To those with integrity, you show integrity. To the pure, you show yourself pure. But to the wicked, you show yourself hostile. You rescue the humble, but you humiliate the proud. You light a lamp for me, Lord. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness. In your strength, I can crush an army. With my God, I can scale any wall. God's way is perfect. We're going to keep reading till 36. Ooh, this is big stuff. I got big brackets here. Yes, it is. God's way is perfect. All the Lord's promises prove true. He is a shield for all who look to him for protection. For who is God except the Lord? Who but our God is a solid rock? God arms me with strength. He makes my way perfect. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, enabling me to stand on mountain heights. He trains my hands for battle. He strengthens my arm to draw a bronze bow. You have given me your shield of victory. Your right hand supports me, Lord. Your help has made me great. You have made a wide path for my feet to keep them from slipping. This is good. David knows, King David knows where his help is coming from. That's what's powerful about that psalm. Okay, we're moving on. Today's proverb, the 21st, Proverbs 4, 7 through 10. Excuse me. Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do. And whatever else you do, develop good judgment. If you prize wisdom, she will make you great. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will place a lovely wreath on your head. She will present you with a beautiful crown. And that is the proverb for today. They do ask you to read 10. Interesting. My child, listen to me and do as I say, and you will have a long, good life. All right. I feel like they're overlapping that, but I'll move on as directed. Okay, Matthew 13, starting at 47 through 14:12. So here we go, 13 at 47. Remember, this is unpacking. In Matthew, Jesus is teaching all of these parables. Here we go. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a fishing net that was thrown into the water and caught fish of every kind. When the net was full, they dragged it in up onto the shore, sat down, sorted the good fish into crates, but threw the bad ones away. That is the way it will be at the end of the world. The angels will come and separate the wicked people from the righteous, throwing the wicked into the fiery furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Do you understand all these things? I think yesterday I did read on because all of this is really a total idea, but we're going to just keep reading. Yes, they said we do. The disciples get it. They understand what Jesus is saying. Then he added, every teacher of religious law who becomes a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like a homeowner who brings from his storeroom new gems of truth as well as old. When Jesus had finished telling these stories and illustrations, he left that part of the country. He returned to Nazareth, his hometown. When he taught there in the synagogue, everyone was amazed and said, "Where does he get this wisdom and the power to do miracles?" Then they scoffed, "He's just the carpenter's son. And we know Mary, his mother, and his brothers, James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas." People, Jesus had family. Some side note, Joseph and Mary were a couple. They were a good Jewish couple. They were having kids. Jesus was the first, yes. But he has James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas. How about that? James, his brother, becomes the one that writes the book of James later in the New Testament. Amazing. All his sisters live right here among us. Where did he learn all? His sisters. Jesus has got brothers and sisters. Amazing. But they're still scoffing him. They know his family. They're thinking, who are you? Where did he learn all these things? And they were deeply offended and refused to believe in him. How about that? Then Jesus told them, a prophet is honored everywhere except in his own hometown and among his own family. And so he did only a few miracles there because of their unbelief. Wow. Moving on. Now into Matthew chapter 14, and we will read to verse 12. Wow. When Herod Antipas, the ruler of Galilee, heard about Jesus, he said to his advisors, "This must be John the Baptist raised from the dead. That is why he can do such miracles." For Herod had arrested and imprisoned John as a favor to his wife, Herodias, the former wife of Herod's brother, Philip. John had been telling Herod, "It's against God's law for you to marry her." Herod wanted to kill John, but he was afraid of a riot because all the people believed John was a prophet. But at a birthday party for Herod, Herodias' daughter performed a dance that greatly pleased him. So he promised with a vow to give her anything she wanted. At her mother's urging, wow, the girl said, "I want the head of John the Baptist on a tray." Then the king regretted what he had said, but because of the vow he had made in front of his guest, he issued the necessary orders. So John was beheaded in the prison, and his head was brought on a tray and given to the girl, who took it to her mother. Man, how gross could people be? So dark in those times. Of course, mankind doesn't change. There are still dark places. Verse 12, later John's disciples came for his body and buried it. Then they went and told Jesus what had happened. And there you go. That's the readings for today, January 21st. Thank you for your grace as I'm navigating parts of the scripture and overlapping things. Sometimes I feel it's important to complete a story or to even complete an idea like we're doing in Psalms and Proverbs if things feel connected. And then the next day we kind of overlap back to pick it up so you can see how it connects. Anyway, stay plugged in, stay hungry, fit it into your day as it works for you. It might be morning, it might be a lunch break, it might be late at night like I'm doing here. Sometimes it's been, I don't usually do an early morning reading. It's usually mid-morning or afternoon, or like now it's evening here. So anyway, be blessed. We'll see you tomorrow for the daily Bible reading. Bye-bye.